Welcome to Wealth Think Tank Television. I'm your host, Dr. Ralph Steele. And ladies and gentlemen, television audience, we are live here today in the Dallas-Fort Worth area on Wealth Think Tank Television on the Now Network and soon to be also on the WKZAQ Television 32. But we are live here today and we have again a wonderful show for you today. I'm Dr. Ralph Steele, and just a quick note about what we do. We are an entrepreneurship television investment company that provides people with information on how to start, grow, and expand their business, but we also provide people with opportunities to invest their money and invest it safe so that they will grow their money and, who knows, become wealthy and even billionaires. That's what we do. In fact, I invite those of you who have 401ks and your 401ks and you're no longer working for the company, is you really do need to at this time, because we're in an inflationary period, and so you need to take that 401k and roll it over into, I highly recommend that you roll it over into an annuity 10 income for life. What does that mean? That means that you will never lose not 1 cent of your money. You'll have you will have money. You can draw a check for the rest of your life. The interest on it is anywhere from 7 to 15%, and your money is safe, secure, and you also have access to it. So those of you who have a 401k that's sitting out there and you're no longer working for that company, I very highly advise you to give us a call, 817-729-0543, because you're probably going to lose some, if not all of it. And now, before it's too late, you have an opportunity to do that. But that takes us into our show today. Entrepreneurship, special people, intelligent people, professional people. Did I say that? Yes, I did. That brings us to our special guest today, an entrepreneur of entrepreneurs, a queen of queens, professional woman. Ladies and gentlemen, I have on our show today Miss Danielle Connolly, a CEO, managing consultant at the D3 Management and Consulting Company, business professional. Again, Miss Danielle Conley. Just a few things about her, because if I say too much, you probably send her in a check today before she get off the show. And so I don't want to start anything today, because I might have to help her count all of the money. And I'm telling you, this is amazing to have a professional on the show today. This lady is passionate about executing profitable projects. I mean, helping people. Listen, let me tell you something. She is just passionate about helping people to define what we call capital for entrepreneurs so that they can grow and, more importantly, expand their business. How about that? You can't beat that, can you? Now, I'll have to tell you a few other things about her. She already has a master's degree, an MBA degree, a bachelor's degree from Texas Women University. She even have an associate degree from North Central Texas College, and have a master's degree of business administration and public administration, from yours truly, University of Texas at Arlington, where I reside at. And now she's also finishing up an executive, knows what I say, an executive, Masters of Business Administration, EMBA, from the University of Texas at Arlington, commonly called UTA. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome the queen of executive business and entrepreneurship, Miss Danielle Conley.
Thank you so much, Dr. Steele. I'm going to have to put you on payroll now with that wonderful introduction that you just gave me.
See that, folks? I'm going to get paid just for the commercial. Isn't that wonderful? But we're happy to have you today. Welcome to the show, Wealth Think Tank Television, Danielle. And so, listen, let's jump into this conversation. Since there ain't no water, we don't have to worry about jumping into the ocean or the beach. So we're jumping to this entrepreneurship conversation. This is what life is about, folks. Danielle, what inspires you to be an entrepreneur and help people?
Right. So it started with AmeriCorps. So I signed up for AmeriCorps to work on the former Mayor Michael Rollins' Grow South initiative. And with that, we were placed in the underserved areas of Dallas. So we were charged with helping them find funding, helping with neighborhood block parties, community grants, building community gardens. So like that put me into the serving the community standpoint.
And so as you got into that, and I understand that because I'm a former Teach for America teacher. And so I work through, that's a program that's through AmeriCorps as well, which was an outstanding, excellent experience for me, teaching kids biology, chemistry, and physics, and all that type of stuff I did. And so specifically, though, what do you do now that you have catapulted, you've elevated yourself, you've moved up into society, professionalism? So what do you actually do? Tell our television audience today, what do you actually do to help people?
So right now, I help builders find funding for their real estate deals, whether that's new construction, land plus construction, fix and flips, equipment financing. Like I can find funds for just about anything you can think of on the private side. So that's primarily what I do. I tend, right now, I'm focusing more on affordable building. So finding those developers that are building affordable homes. Find their funding.
And so that's outstanding because we're always going to need, there's always going to be a need for people to have a place to live, to lay their head, shelter, not only in a time of storm, but I call it shelter in a time of happiness and enjoyment. And so for a person's family, for the children, or a developer or someone who has a project. And so what's been some of the, how would I say it, great things that you've experienced working and helping people find these kind of this kind of funding for them?
That's a great question, Dr. Steele. So it brings to mind a GC that I helped in Chicago. So there's no geographical limits.
And so,
everywhere.
So not to interrupt you. GC is not good cooked food. GC is general contractor.
So he had the experience as a GC, but most funders, they want you to like have the experience on paper, like that they can track just to make sure that, hey, this person is a credible person. So, but with him, I had the funder to use his invoices as a form of, hey, he has the experience. Can you count his 20 invoices that he's done for drywall, for laying concrete, for roof fixing, like all of that. And with that, I was able to get him the funding that he needed for his project. So that was a great success for me in Chicago.
And so you said before, you can do this funding nationwide. It's not just in dollars. It's not just in Texas. It's not just in Louisiana. So that's outstanding. So when you're talking about funding, some people think about $25,000, $50,000. So what is your limit in terms of the type of funding? How high? You know what I mean? I like to think of things high, gigantic, big. How high do you go when you get the, I'm talking about the amount of funding. Is there a limitation?
So I partner with different capital companies. So
right.
so some have a limit and some don't. So
some don't.
It just varies. It could be 10 million. It could be 40 million.
Wow.
It just varies. So
what is the highest amount of money that you have literally helped someone sign a contract, receive the money, and go work on their project?
Okay, so I helped a friend of mine find $10 million for a casino that needed funding.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Where's that casino? You don't have to tell me if it's confidential. Yeah, I'll be there.
Oh, no, you can't do that.
I'll be there, you know what I mean? Let's go in some of this money. No, I'm just joking.
I like blackjack myself, so
Yeah,
I can't
it's
say too
joking.
much.
I like green jack myself. Yeah, green jack. Yeah, y'all better wake up out there, television audience.
I've never heard of green jack.
Green jack is
write
when
that down.
green jack is a 1, it's a 5, it's a 10, it's a 20, it's a 50, and it's a 100.
Okay.
That's green jack. It's a $1 bill, $5 bill, $10 bill, $20 bill, $50 bill. It's a $100 bill. I call it all green jack. As many as I can get. That's green jack. You got it, didn't you?
So it's not
Here you go,
actual
television
game.
audience. Hello, television audience. You're listening to Think Tank Television. You got to be on your toes when you're talking to me.
Yes, you do.
Because
I'm like, green jack, wait a minute. Blackjack?
blackjack, green jack.
I got you.
Like that, green jack.
I
want you to read something and then tell the television audience what it means to you. And what I did was, for your convenience,
Okay.
I went ahead, and it's the very top one on here.
Okay.
And I want you to read that and read it kind of, put your body, your communicating body parts spiritually into it.
You want me to
Yeah.
read it like a preacher kind of sort of?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Read that and then and let's talk about it for a moment.
Okay.
And relate that to your work.
Okay. Invest in 7 ventures, yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. Ecclesiastes 11:2.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes in the Old Testament, the 11th chapter, verse 2. What does that mean to you as you relate your business and wealth and financial and then helping business owners?
For me, I think that means creating more of a generational wealth that can be passed down from one generation to the next. So if you invest in multiple things, you have multiple streams of income coming in. So whether that's real estate, bonds, crypto, hedge funds, like you really have to diversify your portfolio.
And there you have it, folks. Think about, a lot of times people wonder why they're not wealthy, and they don't understand that God already wants all of us to have, as she said, a diversified stream of income. And now, did you hear the number she said? 8. Not 1, not 2, but 8. Can you imagine, television audience, having 8 streams of income and just watching, not your blackjack, but watching your green jack rise?
I'm going to use that from now on. I've never...
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine yourself being wealthy, healthy? Can you imagine calling up Miss Danielle one day? Hello, I'm looking for Mrs. Danielle Conley. Is she in? Yes, she's in. And she helping you so that now your green jack will be okay. Can you just, television art, and God will bless you? Can you just imagine that? Let me tell you something. And Danielle, listen, tell the people, with that being said, relate your goals. What type of goals you have in this business or business to come, and where you're going in the future in terms of just being wealthy.
Right. So I would say a goal right now is to find as many developers that I can that needs that needs funding.
It needs funding.
That needs funding, period. So if they have the experience, if they have the liquid, if they have the backing, I can definitely find them funding. So,
and let's unpack that for a minute. When you say the backing, what do you mean when you say that? Just for the television.
So
what do you mean?
You have some funders that will fund, say, if you have no experience,
right?
They'll fund you, but you're going to pay more interest. The terms are going to be longer. So you want to have that backing, that experience that's traceable to say, hey, this is it's almost like a credit check, right? So you're basically proving that I have the experience. You can trust me with this $500,000, $2 million that you're going to loan me so I can do this development.
And tell me if am I misreading you? So then you can produce what you say,
exactly,
and then you get this $5 million, or $10 or $20 million. You can produce what you say, but also you can project financially how much money you're going to make.
Yes.
So now, something financially, professionally, and good will come out of this process.
Yes.
So now somebody's going to do a housing or some type of affordable housing or some type of real estate project. So they will have a finished project.
Right.
It won't just be an architectural prototype.
Right.
Sitting on a piece of paper that didn't come into existence.
Right.
But this will come into existence.
Yes.
There's going to be some keys to it.
Yes.
They can open up the door.
They can open up
They
the
can
door.
walk into it.
They can walk into it.
Do business in it.
Do business in it.
Make money.
Make money in it.
See the green jack grow.
See the green jack grow.
Oh, God.
Exactly.
This is what we're talking about. You're listening to Wealth Think Tank Television. We have a special guest here today, Miss Danielle Conley. Let me tell y'all something, folks. You better start calling her. She's talking about getting you as a developer, as a general contractor, getting you money. I'm going to stop right now and have her give, and I'm not going to even, see, listen, because I believe she can get you some money. I'm not going to even wait till the end of the show. I'm going to have her do it right now, give her contact information that she deems professional and appropriate so that you can give her a call and she can go from there and you can go from there and let this money come into you. Miss Danielle Connolly.
Yes, you can reach me at right here, 817-909-2352. I respond to texts, voicemails, calls, like money don't sleep. So, if you call, I'm picking up. Just like that.
There you go, folks. You heard it from the queen of entrepreneurship, Green Jack Money. I'm just teasing.
I love Green Jack.
Green Jack Money. You heard it from Miss Danielle Conley. So, Miss Conley, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what do you want to be professionally?
5 years from now, I would say I would love to work to have a development company and to work on M&A, mergers and acquisition.
Mergers and acquisitions?
Yes, like bringing two big conglomerates together and finding the financing and just making sure everything levels out. One of my great books that I read probably about 6 or 7 times is Reginald Lewis.
Right.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal author, and the book talks about, the title of it is Why Should White Guys Have All the Fun? And so he talks about real estate, he talks about merger and acquisitions and how he became who he was and what he had to go through. So that's a phenomenal book, and that's one that I keep on deck.
Well, that's a way of looking at partnerships. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of people go into business and they don't understand that one of the ways you can help yourself grow and expand is developing a partnership. And you can tell me your understanding, growing a partnership without losing the power and the ownership of your own business.
Right.
A lot of people don't understand that. They think, well, if I partner with somebody, You know what I mean? I'm going to lose my business.
Right.
You don't have to lose your business because you partner with people. You basically what I call a double, triple, mutually beneficial sowing towards each other, and both people growing and receiving green jack. You see what I mean? See that, folks? A lot of people don't understand that. A partnership is a great thing. Is that something, I'm assuming that's something that you're perhaps seeking and wants to do in the future as well, right?
Yes. So I used to certify minority-owned and women-owned businesses
Right.
to receive their certification, so they could win contracts with your city government, with your county, and with your hospitals. And so by doing that process, the company must be either 51% or higher owned by a minority or a woman-owned business. So I know the importance of the percentage breakdown. I've seen some breakdowns that go all the way down to 3%, but you still have a say.
Yeah, you have a say because of the percentage.
Right.
But also, for television folks, keep in mind too now, you can also develop a partnership and not lose your business, and the partnership can include and exclude your business simultaneously, legally, contractually, and then you can still make money as a contractually partnership and still own your own business.
Yes.
And come out both businesses having value in it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people need to do that. Now, in this capital funding thing, what are 3 things that you do when you're helping people to receive their funding? What are 3 things you would say, and I'm pushing you a little deeper now, that you do that help people get their funding? 3 things that you do, because I think it would be important for the television audience to hear these things. What are 3 things you do?
3 things that I do. I would say number 1 is that I build rapport with my funders.
Right.
So, and I think that's the most important key, because I can pick up a phone at 11 o'clock and they pick up saying, hey, I have a question about this deal, or they're texting me right now. What do you think about this?
Right.
Can you fund it this way? Can you do deferral? So that's one, is having that one-on-one rapport with my funders.
Wow.
And I think that's the most key thing, because everything is about relationships. And if you have the relationship, you can definitely find the funding.
Right. And folks, what you got to understand too, I have an acronym. I call it QBR. QBR, and that doesn't mean margaritas or anything like that. QBR is quality business relationships.
I like that.
That's what it means. This is what Ms. Danielle Conley is talking about. Because if you have quality business relationships, that equals out to green jack. That equals out to partnerships, business partnerships, growth. That equals out to, and I want you to talk a little bit too on, give our television audience a little bit about business expansion, because I think that's kind of sort of, if I'm correct, what your business you actually do, isn't it, in terms of the funding?
Right. So I have some funders that will do working capital,
right,
and startup capital.
Right.
But so different funders have different tastes for different types of fields. So
Understand.
then I can find the funder that fits your field. So if your field is, say, hey, crypto or real estate or, hedge.
Yeah, because see, my field, and I understand what you're saying. You said, because my field is Mono Green Jacko. That's my field, folks. Money, that money, you know what I'm saying? That's my field. But anyway, it's really a blessing to have someone like you out here doing those things. What I want to just kind of go into, give the television audience, if you were telling them something that could help them in their business,
Uh-huh.
what would be 1, 2, or 3 things that you would tell them?
I would say be okay with making mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I would say don't be afraid to take advice from someone that you don't know,
Right.
because you never know what that person knows or who that person knows or the reason that they're saying what they're saying.
Right.
So I got advice to go and get my executive MBA from someone that I had no idea of. And I just told him, I was like, hey, I really want to learn how to raise capital. And he says, well, Danielle, you're going to need this. And I was like, man, I just finished one master. So now you're
Right.
telling me that I have to go back and get another one. He was like, yes. And so that's exactly what I did. So I wasn't afraid to take advice from someone that I did not know.
Because it's not about, and that's one of my pet peeves, because I hear people a lot of times, I don't know this person.
Yeah.
Folks, listen to what I'm telling you. Listen to what Miss Danielle just said. You don't have to know people to love people. You don't have to know people to help people.
Yes.
You don't have to know people, as Danielle Conley said, to take advice
that
from
advice
people.
from, yeah.
The way I look at people, Danielle, God created every single human being. Television audience, first of all, I truly believe that all of us that are walking around here, if you have 2 legs now, if you got 2 legs, 5 toes and 10 fingers, 10 toes and 10 fingers, we are nothing. We are nothing more than brothers and sisters.
Yes.
That's all we are. And so, if the human being can, really there ain't but one human race as well. And so, if we ever learn that, the world would be better.
Place. Yes.
Miss Conley, I want to just say this to you: is so there's no low amount of money that people have to need for, is it?
No. What do you mean by low?
Like you can go up to millions of dollars, but can it be like 25, 50,000, something like that?
So some of them do have a minimum. Some, is 75. Some is 100K. But
Okay.
as far as like 10 or 5, you can just probably get that from a SBA or your local bank.
Oh, okay.
If you need that much,
I got you. I got you. Folks, there you have it. Wealth Think Tank Television. Mrs. Danielle Conley, give your information again before we go, Ms.
Okay.
Conley.
My phone number is, where I can be reached is 817-909-2352, or you can email me at danielle@d3mandc.com.
Folks, there you have it. Been listening to Wealth Think Tank Television. I'm your host, Dr. Ralph Steele. And folks, again, let me tell you a secret. We are in an inflationary period. I desire everyone who has money invested, take your money and put it in a place where it needs to be safe. It'll make you more money. And more important, you'll have money for the rest of your life. You've been listening to Wealth Think Tank Television with your host, Dr. Ralph Steele. Every Sunday evening at 6 p.m. Stay tuned, same channel, same station. Have a great day.